Hi, and welcome to Timeless Tarot by T. My name is T, and I'm gonna be doing your pick a pile, pick a card reading today. And for today, I was meditating about the topic that it should be, and I was receiving so many signs that we should be looking into what blessing is coming towards you. And my idea for this week's reading is going to be that I want to be asking your spirit guides directly about their advice on what blessing is coming your way. So we have pile number one, which I'm going to be using the Starseed Oracle cards for you. And as a crystal to choose, I have the amethyst. See if it resonates. Just see how you feel towards the crystal, towards the oracle deck. And as a second option right here, I have my very, very favorite malachite stone. As a matter of fact, amethyst and malachite are both some of my favorite stones. So, and I'll be working with the Work Your Light oracle cards on this side. I do have a black onyx here. This is not a pile to choose from. These are just my regular tarot cards that I'm going to be using as some clarifiers. But for today, I really want to pick some oracle cards as direct messages from your spirit guides to clarify the question what blessings are coming towards you, and also what other messages they might have for you. So be sure to make your choice right now. You will find the timestamps down below in the description box and also in the pinned comment. And let's get started. All right, hello, dear pile number one. So you chose the amethyst stone as well as the starseed oracle deck. And I am going to be doing your reading with messages directly from your spirit guides, your spiritual team, your angels or ancestors, whatever you believe in order to get an answer to the question of which blessing is coming your way. Pawn number one, spirit team, ancestors, angels, spirit guides. I want to ask you what blessings are coming in the way of pile number one. What blessings is coming through for them? Or what message? Oh, all right. We have You Got the Love, Hadrian Energy, Codependency, and Boundaries. And this popped up together with the Blue Flame, Spontaneous Awakening, Activation, and Integration Time. Okay, this is exciting. And one more card, one more message, please. What blessing is... We have the Courageous Peony, Multifaceted, Unique Nature, and Let Yourself Be Seen. Okay, this is powerful energy. Now at the back of the deck, I'm always curious to check here. We have Double Mission, Lightworker, Starseed, Serve the World by Being You. This is really, really beautiful. I feel like we almost don't need clarifiers, but I want to pull 3 tarot cards as well, just to see. But I think this is actually really straightforward, but it's a big shift and a big I want to see, yeah, kind of enlightenment coming your way as a blessing here. But let me try the tarot cards first of all. I want to pull 3 clarifiers. The Queen of Swords, Judgment, and one last clarifier for this one, the 8 of Wands. Okay, let me work on... Okay, and we have the Wheel of Fortune on the back of the deck. Really beautiful. Pile number one, I'm already excited. As you can tell, energy is rising. But before we continue this, let me arrange this. I'm still getting used to filming, to be honest. So all of these things like camera angle and so on and so forth. I still have to arrange myself a little bit. Okay, let me try to arrange this in a nice way for you guys so that you can see. And we are going to be taking into consideration the back of the deck energies as well. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Right? I think this looks good enough. So, you got the love, the blue flame, and the courageous peony. I think, as you can see, these two very much correlate. So we have the double mission and the courageous peony because they both talk about serve the world by being you, as well as let yourself be seen, unique nature. This is about finding yourself, and what you will receive as a blessing here is essentially the mental rational clarity about where where you are still codependent, where you have to set more boundaries, and also suddenly you will figure what you will see as a blessing is the energy and the strength to finally pull through with the boundaries that you want to set. Okay, you have this incredible mental clarity and strength coming your way that is going to help you to really define who you are, what is yours and what isn't. Because what I'm seeing for you, pile number one, is also that you guys are probably super empathic, yeah, highly empaths who are probably struggling a little bit sometimes with not just setting boundaries but also feeling the energetic boundary of what is mine, what is my energy, and what is the energy of other people. Because you're probably the type of people who, like me by the way, are very easy to perceive other beings and other entities energies, and therefore it can be really challenging sometimes to kind of set a boundary and also feel the boundary of this is my energy and this is another person's or entity's energy. So your blessing, very straightforward, very clearly, is going to be this mental strength and clarity of understanding what is my energy, what is theirs, what is my problem, my lesson, my part of the story to work on, and what is theirs. And therefore you will receive so much more, or like you will create so much more energy, or even just hold back so much more energy for yourself, hold space for yourself in order to work on what your goals are. This is a huge blessing coming your way, and it's internal. It's not an external one. This is really going to come from within, but it could also manifest in the external, as for example, just finding strategies or techniques coming your way that will help you to really define better what is yours and what is theirs. For example, you might come across or try out a certain meditation practice or grounding practice that is really, really helping you be in that zone of understanding what is mine, what is authentically me, and what is external influence. Okay. So this is a way that it could manifest in the external, you just coming across the right methods for you, but it's an internal blessing. So your spirit guides are sending you this mental strength and mental clarity your way, even though you might still feel like, I don't know, a little bit brain fog recently is what I'm getting, exhaustion, really being stressed and overwhelmed with your current life situation. However, just be sure if it has not started already, this mental clarity is coming your way. You will know exactly what to do. Like it says, spontaneous awakening. This may come really, really unexpected activation and integration time. So, what this means is it is a type of spiritual awakening that is not just in the spirit, but also in the physical body. Literally, in your DNA, something is going to shift, and that will make it easier to not just understand energetic boundaries, but to also physically act out boundaries, not even go places you don't want to go to, for example, or not even playing nice if you just don't want to interact with a certain person. Okay, and you are receiving this activation because it is justified. Um, because it is justified, because you were destined to receive it. Okay, you were gonna receive what's yours. You have worked towards this, and this activation is deeply woven into your timeline, into your current timeline, and also into your fate in a way, if you believe in that. Fate is not set in stone, by the way. It's really made up of how fast, so to speak, we learn our certain lessons. It's a bit tricky because this only functions on the realm of time and space that we are currently in. But to understand fate, the concept of fate operates on a entire other dimension. So this is not something that is embedded in a time and space. However, I need to translate it a little bit towards the dimension of time and space, obviously. So fate for us, since we are on the side where time and space does operate in that current dimension, we don't have fate that is set in stone the way we would understand that. So it's not going to be like, okay, like 5 months you're going to have this lesson, and then after I don't know, after 22 years of lifetime you're going to meet your final spouse or something like this. So it's not written in stone like this, the life events, but the way it's working is like it depends on how fast and just how precisely in general you are working on your goals, you are working on your learning lessons. Okay, so when your soul incarnated, it did sort of sign up for certain learning lessons. There are key lessons that you're going to learn, and then there's smaller lessons embedded into your key lessons. Kind of like if you're into gaming, maybe you have the main quests and the side quests. Literally, life is operating like that. Okay, so it depends on this, but your divine timing right now, from all the things you did, the decisions you took, and the lessons you've been learning, this is your time to receive this blue flame activation, which is a holistic activation, not just of your spirit, but of your DNA as well. Okay, so you have a lot of things shifting yourself, your way, and again, that mental clarity is gonna come. And this is also probably coming in or being combined with the second blessing I'm seeing for you. And this is going to be an opportunity to literally let yourself be seen. So there is some opportunity coming your way, depending on what it is that you're doing, but you will have the opportunity to show yourself in your authentic, true nature, to just have the experience for yourself. So this opportunity is coming in as a blessing for you to have the opportunity for yourself to experience yourself in front of others or with others as your authentic self. Because I feel like so far you might have touched a little bit on what it feels like to be authentic self. Maybe you did a lot of internal work on your own, and you know what it feels like to be yourself authentically, but you still struggle with bringing that out within your community while socializing, while being with other people. You still struggle to kind of bring out your light, let yourself be seen, and you will get an opportunity your way where you will really be able to experience yourself authentically and show yourself authentically to others. This doesn't have to be such a stage moment. It doesn't have to be like you doing stand-up comedy in front of everybody or singing or whatever it could be, but it's probably just gonna be a moment of socializing where you suddenly feel at ease. No social anxiety, no struggling for words, no trying to thinking of like, oh, like what may other people think of me, what is going on, like what if I do this now and then that person is gonna think this and that. No, all of this internal talk is gonna be quiet. Your brain is gonna be quiet. You'll have this mental clarity. You'll be at ease. Emotions and rationality are going to be leveled out, balanced out enough to have a calm experience of just being yourself without second guessing yourself, and you will just see and feel how relaxing that actually can be. And it doesn't have to be so nerve-wracking to dare to be yourself, because it is your birthright to represent yourself authentically. Is literally your job is to have your very, very own authentic individual experience in this incarnation. That's all. Essentially, I know life can seem so overwhelming with all of the side quests and the main quests and all of that, what I just explained, but your only job when it comes, like, bottom line, your only job is to represent yourself. You are here to have the human experience as you, as your authentic self. And while having the human experience, your only job is to unravel your authentic self and to rediscover it again and again and again, because authentic self is not this is not stagnant, so to speak. It's constantly evolving and also expanding. expansion is the very nature of the universe, okay? So your very nature, even of your authentic self, is expansion as well. And so you always need to be redirected and recentered towards finding your authentic self. It's not a static thing. So even though you're quote unquote going to find it as your blessing, kind of coming your way, having this feeling of like, yes, mental clarity, all things like I understand myself, I feel myself, and I dare to go out as my authentic self. It'll be beautiful. It'll feel like a milestone, but you will have to rediscover and reintegrate yourself, reassemble yourself every time in order to stay connected to that authentic self, because it's not a stagnant entity, so to speak. Okay. And yeah, then finally with the double mission card, a light worker, star seed, serve the world by being you. I wouldn't be surprised if you do identify as a light worker, which is a beautiful thing. Welcome to the family. I'm in touch with a lot of light workers too. I define myself as a light worker as well. I can see that. And so many times we think of it as maybe this kind of it's almost a misunderstanding, this type of hero position where you're like, I don't know, spiritual leaders of the world or whatever, and like you need to guide people, and you need to, not all of us need to be gurus or come up with their own religion or something weird like that. I shouldn't put judgment onto that, because some people are born to just do that, okay? But in the end, it's only just needed if this feels authentic to you, if this feels like this is your path. And if you feel the pressure now, because maybe you came about this label of like light worker, and you're like, yeah, that feels like me. So like, but now I need to do some crazy thing for humanity. And then you feel pressure, and then you start doing something again, just because out of external expectations, or you think that might be the external expectations for a light worker. So then you feel like, oh, this must be my job, when in reality it doesn't. Matter of fact, the actual reason why I started this YouTube channel is because I felt like this is an authentic way for me to follow my life purpose. It just felt right. Okay, I had this idea maybe like 1 year back already, but just now the time felt right to do it. So I'm just doing it. And in this current timeline, I'm not getting a lot of views, for example, but I know that every single person that clicks on this video and listens to the messages is meant to see them. And it's absolutely not about how many people you reach. Never. Okay. So when you look, maybe look up light workers on YouTube, and then you see sometimes those big channels, and they're giving incredible advice and talking about astrology and portals and manifestation and all of those wonderful things. And yes, they are helping thousands of people probably. And they have a lot of followers or whatever, but it's not about that. We are not some sort of spiritual Instagram influencers, or there are a lot of light workers currently incarnated, and they are there to serve their local community. Okay. And I didn't say they're there to just serve their local community on purpose, all right? Because it's not just, it has the same value. And the best way to really help humanity, because a lot of light workers, they're helpers in nature. They want to help and fix other people's problems, and that's why they struggle with boundaries so much, which is why I'm pretty sure that you might be very well one of them. We struggle with boundaries because we feel like it's our job to sort of save humanity and save everybody from themselves. It's not. And in this current timeline, our job is to dare to be authentically ourselves, okay? And the right people are going to look at that and draw inspiration from that and listen to that and follow you, not follow you one on one in your behavior, in your life choices, but follow you in the very action of choosing yourself. They will see, okay, this person, something about their energy is different. I don't agree with everything that you're doing. I don't agree with their lifestyle, with some of their choices, but something about these people is different because they are authentic. They don't care. They are walking their path. They are walking in certainty. They are not scared to take a leap of faith, and that is what people are supposed to follow and draw inspiration on, from. Not all of the details of your life, not every single of your life choices If you have a certain following, or if you have people who are looking up to you, they don't need to be there to be like influenced. Okay, like let's say you're Instagram influencer or something like this, they are not there to buy all of your products. They are not there to do everything that you're advertising. They are there to recognize the underlying pattern of your behavior, which is, I choose myself. I choose to go within and feel and perceive what is right for me, and I listen to that inner voice only, that inner voice and nothing else. And I am basing all of my life choices around my personal inner voice, right? That is your job. That is your job. That is what everybody should be doing. And I think you will receive a major upgrade, maybe even some downloads and spiritual information from another realm. Maybe you will be able to perceive different frequencies and vibrations. And you can tell that by the way I'm speaking this video, if you compare to the other one, I'm kind of messing up pronunciation sometimes, or misspelling words, is because I'm kind of, the messages that I'm perceiving, I feel like I perceive them much faster than I can speak. And I think for you, it might be the same. Like suddenly this wall is going to break away, this brain fog, this darkness, this disorientation, very, very suddenly and unexpectedly is going to break away. And suddenly you have all of the clarity flowing in. You will have so much inner voice. Maybe you felt like your spirit guides sort of left you. Maybe you felt like you lost your inner voice, you were lost, this and that. If you have been spiritual for a while and trying certain practices to reconnect with the inner voice, or to connect with your angels and with your spirit guides, and very, very suddenly the messages, the clarity, all of the things, all of the answers to your questions, they're going to come in like pop, 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 really, really fast, really, really fast, because this is the way that I'm perceiving right now. And so that's why I have this certainty that it's going to come your way, probably with the same pace. So be prepared for this to come in. I would guess, if I would have to guess a timeline for you, normally don't do that, hence the name Timeless Tarot by T. But I guess we're still operating in the realm of time and space. So it's safe to say that I would see for you within the next 8 weeks. Okay, I would say within the next 8 weeks, within the next 2 months, this sort of aha moment, that blessing of mental clarity and reconnection to your own inner voice and authenticity is gonna come your way. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if you want to let me know how this resonated. It's super precious feedback for me. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I wish you all the best, all the love, all the light, and yeah, have a wonderful day. Hi, pile number 2, and welcome. So you chose my beautiful, beautiful malachite stone. Matter of fact, really one of my most favorites, that I use under my pillow a lot of times to enhance dreams. I don't know why, but I felt like sharing that. So maybe you're being called to try that. However, I want to look into the oracle deck that you chose, which is the Work Your Light. These have such beautiful, beautiful illustrations. And I would like to ask spirit guides, your spiritual team, your angels, whatever you believe on the other side, whatever you wish to name it, for some messages regarding the blessing that is coming your way. So we want to find out blessing for pile number 2. I'm gonna only take the top card here, okay? Because I prefer to take one by one, but the spirit so many times is ignoring that inner intention of mine. We have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? If the other cards are meant to comment, they will, but one by one, please. What blessing is gonna come pile number 2's way? From my spirit guides, any messages regarding a blessing? We have protection, call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. Okay. This is connected to a heavier energy, I guess. And one more. this didn't jump all the way. One more card regarding your blessing. Okay. We have Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. All right. Can perceive a much heavier energy from your pile. This is interesting. And on the back of the deck, we have the Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. So your spirit guides definitely want you to know that they're there. You have more than one working with you or trying to work with you right now. But I'm going to be pulling some tarot cards in order to clarify. Is this two? No, just felt like it. Okay. In order to clarify these cards a bit further. So we have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Can you clarify? Okay, we have the Seven of Swords. Protection is the world. All right. And Akasha. We'll talk about Akasha records today. Okay, we have, how many cards just pop up? Two. We have the King of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Can you see everything? I'm still struggling with putting everything correctly in the frame. Back of the deck is the Five of Swords. Okay. So this is very much about, this feels very much about calling back your energy, which was also sort of the topic of the first pile, but yours is coming in a bit heavier. If you're not aware of it, I'm strongly sensing twin flame journey. I'm not sure if this is relevant for you. If you don't know what that is, you might want to look it up because I'm not an expert of that. Certainly not. And I feel like the blessing that is coming your way, it is very similar to the first pile. I wonder, because recently I did not watch or perceive any updates of like the entire collective on what's going on for us right now, but it feels very much about like coming home to yourself and reintegration of aspects that you don't love about yourself. There is something internally that you've been running away from. I think you're a type of person who doesn't like to face their shadows, or recently did not like to face their shadows, and there are certainly some aspects of yourself that you don't know how to mother, or you might push the responsibility oftentimes onto other people to mother you in that aspect. You feel probably felt misunderstood. Oftentimes, I still feel very, very much misunderstood. I'm sensing for a lot of you, this is going to manifest in relationships, in romantic relationships. This is how you can double check. I'm seeing for you guys a lot of disharmony there, a lot of dissatisfaction, a lot of needs not being met. But part of the root cause of this is that you were not as aware of your own needs. Okay. So the reason why you're struggling to mother yourself, or you still haven't figured out some aspects on how to mother yourself, is because you have not been in touch with all of your needs and with all aspects of yourself yet. Okay, there are some things that you don't want to look into. However, what is going to come your way as your blessing is gonna be literally a soul retrieval. What I'm seeing for you, I think part of the reason why you are struggling to figure out your needs and to really look into all of your things, partially maybe because you don't want to look into certain aspects of your soul and of your being. But I'm sensing for some of you, partially some soul fragmentation. Now, soul fragmentation, I'm not an expert on this. So I would advise you, if you feel like this is something that could apply to you, you should go a little bit deeper into research. And always, when you research spiritual concepts, please don't just listen to what people are saying or claiming and then believe in it straight away. Okay, it's an inner knowing. The way that I know in my soul that something is correct, this is probably going to be different for everyone, but the more spiritual content you consume, the more I would advise you to figure out what signs there are for you personally that are telling you that this is your truth. Because there's still, of course, there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of scammers. And if you think that maybe I'm a scammer or I'm a fraud, I would also encourage you to just click off the video and choose other channels. I would never, oh, if something that I'm saying doesn't seem right, doesn't seem to resonate, just stay away from it. Okay, I'm not here to get you hooked into my videos for some kind of watch time concept or whatever. My purpose is like very, very honest and truthful guidance as much as I can. But if something feels off about these videos, you should click off of them. This counts for my personal videos, this counts for everybody else's videos, because the spirituality, especially new age type of direction, it is a very, very tricky thing. And the biggest thing that you can build for yourself is a really, really good connection to your inner voice. Okay, so this is just sort of a disclaimer that I wanted to get out of the way. However, what I'm sensing for some of you, if not most of you, is some sort of soul fragmentation. This can happen when you had soul connections that are not entirely resolved. Maybe you have some soulmates or karmics in your life that you're still in touch with, but you know deep down that they're actually not good for you, but you have a hard time letting go of them. Soul fragmentation can also happen during traumatic experiences. You might want to look into therapy. You might want to look into reliving them in order to entirely let them go and reclaim all of your soul fragmented parts. You could do some rituals, some magic spells to call back in your soul fragmentation. You could literally, I know there's some subliminals actually there for this very purpose of like recalling your soul fragments. Or you could just sit with yourself and just give room to whatever wants to come up during a quiet time, and do this again and again and again as a very simple healing exercise until all of your soul fragments have returned. Yeah, especially with the cut the cords, I feel like for some of you, there are literally people in your life who are like energy vampires. They're literally sucking the life out of you, and you just feel like you're still attached to them because of some story in the past, but just accepting the fact that this is not in your current reality and that it's time to let go of these people would be a really, really beneficial thing for you. Now, take your time, because I think these things are never easy. If you resonate with the twin flame journey, and I know this is a really, really tricky concept, because when you read through it with a rational mind, you will see elements of like narcissism, highly, highly dysfunctional relationships typically. And I think if you do resonate with that, it might be a time for separation here. There might be a time where you guys really need to work on those sort of hidden aspects of your soul, getting to know yourself better, nurture yourself, learn how to nurture yourself in order to not push so many expectations onto the other person, in order to not have such sometimes unrealistic storytelling. Okay, I'm not saying that you cannot have expectations, especially in relationships. You need to know what you want, but yeah, you can only have functional expectations if you really know what your needs are, and therefore can define what you want. Okay, so however, what is going to come in as your blessing is not just the sort of knowing on how to protect yourself, but what I'm really seeing for you, your guidance is divinely guided, and the council of light. What is coming your way is literally a strong, strong communication with your spirit guides, and also divine protection. Especially, this feels so heavy. I wonder what's going on. You have been through some shit, didn't you? You've really, really, really been through some shit. For a lot of you, I'm sensing heartbreak as well. Like really, really, really severe heartbreak, there could have been betrayal in the mix of a really, really dear person. Doesn't have to be a partner. I'm sensing could also be a family member, but still, there's some really, really fundamental betrayal and heartbreak for you in the mix here, which is making it so hard to move on. Okay, and another message that I'm getting before we get into what the actual blessing is, okay, because this was hard enough, man. I'm so sorry. Um, where was I? I just perceived something that I was going, oh my god, no way. Okay, now I have it again. Okay, so when a lot of heartbreak and a lot of trauma and heavy energy is in the mix, sometimes we tend to not be able to cut the cord because we're so attached to the story, to the drama, to the trauma, that we feel like this very specific person that was involved in this chapter of our lives, that very specific person that we make responsible for hurting us, should also be, by our logic of justice, be responsible for paying us back. Okay. So many times we don't want to cut the cord because we feel like they have hurt us so much, they have taken so much away from us. This person should be responsible for retrieving that. This person must be responsible for giving us back what they have stolen from us, for giving us back what they have taken from us. And essentially, what that is giving your power away. I understand where that logic is coming from, and I fall into that trap so many times as well. Still, I struggle with this because, of course, most of our justice systems that kind of work like this. Okay, you break something, you have to pay for it. However, in the spiritual realm, it's just not like that, because okay, this is some harsh truth, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. And this sort of came up in my last reading as well. It's really interesting. So that just seems to be in the collective that I'm kind of there for, I guess, or resonating with. This seems to be a common topic. We live in a certain feedback loop. Okay, so the lying 8, maybe like this, is the very symbol of the universe. So we have one loop that's representing our internal, and then that is just directly affecting what's happening in our external, meaning that even if ugly things are happening into our life, if we did not consciously manifest it, the subconscious part of our soul did manifest that for us, because in essence, we're the universe. Deep down inside, you are everything that there is. If you're everything, it means that, like, you can very much create your own life. You can control your external. You may believe it's bullshit. You might be tired of all of those manifestation tips or whatever, but trust me, that's the mechanics of the universe. And so if you did not consciously manifest a situation into your life, it's subconsciously manifested. That's why shadow work is so important, because you might subconsciously, or even like questioning your belief systems is so important, because you might subconsciously subconsciously manifest so much bullshit into your life, and then you're wondering, like, why always me? Why are other people lucky and me, I never get to where I'm supposed to be? And the reason for that is literally that you have some undiscovered parts of your soul, some undiscovered parts within your consciousness, your shadow, that you didn't even meet yet, that you didn't even, sometimes you try to suppress it. You don't even hold space for that. Okay? You're running away from something. And if you don't hold space for that, you'll never figure out why you keep on manifesting the same shit into your life. Sometimes you're trying to avoid the situations by running away, but running away doesn't work, because this link is never gonna, running away is like trying to break this link. It's like trying to separate the internal from the external. Forget about it. That's just not how this entire thing works. Okay, so that's why shadow work is so important. That's why sitting down and being in tune with your need is so important. And as I always try to say, like, shadow aspect of the soul, we always perceive this so negatively, and then we're like, okay, so shadow work means we are supposed to get rid of this, we're supposed to get rid of all of our bad behavior and all of our ugly thoughts. Like, no, what you're supposed to be doing is hold space for it, accept that it is there. No matter how ugly the things are that you find in your soul, they are just part of the whole. If you are the universe, if you are everything that there is, then you're also all of the things that we label as bad. Okay, like, everybody has good and bad sides, like, we know this sort of wisdom, common sense wisdom. I like to call it. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, everybody has a good and a bad side, because if we are the eternity of things, if we are everything that there is, then of course we're not perfect in that sense. We are whole, meaning we are holding space and accepting everything that there is, okay, also within our soul. So if you shed light onto those shadows, it doesn't mean that you're like trying to erase them and be like, if I shed light into the shadow is gone. So like these aspects will never be gone, like, but they will be easier to be integrated into your being. I like to think of these things as like building blocks. In this realm, we do like to categorize into good and bad. So you have the good aspects and the bad aspects, and you use them as building blocks to build a functional being. And what you're building there is your authentic self, okay? And you can reassemble the building blocks that you're working with, but before you reassemble yourself, you build yourself up in a way that is functional for you in this current lifetime or current period of your time. Of your life, sorry, before you can reassemble that in a way that makes sense, you need to know how many building blocks you have. Like what is even the building materials that you have at hand, in order to realize that thing for yourself, you know? So it's really, really important to get to know yourself deeper and deeper and deeper and more and more and more, and to unveil more layers of who you are as a person, as a soul, as an entity. And in that way, you'll be able to protect yourself better and to know which cords to cut, okay? And to retrieve your entire soul, to integrate your being. Is sometimes soul fragmentation is not just like other people taking it away. That's kind of enforcing, actually, this type of storyline is kind of enforcing this idea of like the external and the internal being separated. It's not as though the external can steal something from your internal and then it's forever separated. It's, it doesn't work that way in a sense. Sometimes you are sort of willingly, without knowing it, though maybe willingly but not knowingly, giving away your power by giving away certain aspects of yourself that you should not have given away, okay? But you can call it back because you always have the power. The internal and the external are forever linked together. There's nothing that can kind of break this bond, okay? So in that sense, there's no such thing as losing yourself. There's just such things as like not knowing how many building blocks you actually have by not doing the internal work, okay? By not having the patience to seek inside. Spiritual people are typically seekers, okay? We seek for a lifetime. So you continuously sit down and seek within yourself. And by seeking within yourself, you seek all of the secrets of the universe, because you are the universe, okay? Oh my god, I've been like, how did we get from, but yeah, I mean the world card, okay? All of all of the universe, it's you. But you need to see it. You need to get to know yourself. You need to sit down and make sure that you look into all of the situation and not try to sneak yourself away. It's not gonna work. Okay. It's not gonna work. And however, the big blessing that is gonna coming, as I do see that you have to pay a price in order to do this full integration of self. So the big blessing that's gonna come in for you is that you will have the full integration of self, okay? You will retrieve a lot of parts of yourself that have been lost on the way, but you're going to rebuild it. It's not gonna be like quote unquote as before, or back in days when everything was good, before that traumatic event happening in your life. Again, I'm sensing heartbreak for this type of trauma, but it could be something else. And so you're going to rebuild those building blocks, okay? You're going to look into the situation and you're going to retrieve all of those building blocks. You're going to reclaim it, okay? And then you're going to rebuild it into another whole. However, the price that you're I'm sensing currently paying is really a lot of desperation, unfortunately. Like you almost have, you see the 9 of Swords, right? You almost have all 10 of the swords that you sort of need, because the 10 of Swords is the, like 10 is the highest number in tarot, okay? So you almost have all of the building blocks, but you have so much desperation, even though you're right in front of picking up your 10th sword. Okay, you're right there. There's only one building block that you're missing. There's only one small teeny tiny lesson, one piece of information that you're missing, and you're having so much desperation because your focus is on the one thing is missing, or you on the one thing that you believe to be missing, and not on the nine that you already have, like not on the nine lessons that you already learned, not on the nine needs that you shed light on, not on the nine parts of your soul that you shed light on that you already know. Your focus is unfortunately on the one part that is missing. And you should change that attitude. I'm sorry for that tone, but you should change that attitude. Like, is your cup half full or is it half empty? It's literally those damn old, I don't know, pieces of common sense wisdom, as I said, but they're true. You don't have to suffer like this. I see for a lot of you are seriously, seriously suffering right now, and you guys don't see the end of the tunnel, but it is so damn near. And the blessing that is coming in for you is a very, very clear communication with your spirit team. They are all there, and you have so many people in your spiritual team. You have so many ancestors, I feel like, for a lot of you who are watching over you and who are also trying to communicate. But it seems like you're really standing in the way sometimes of that type of communication because you're so much in the past as well. You're constantly looking into the one thing that is missing, but you don't show the appreciation for all of the things that are already there, for all of the knowledge that is already there, for all of the pieces of communication that is already there. And sometimes with our mindset, we're also way too stuck on one means of spiritual communication. Like, for example, you might be really stuck on the thought of like, oh, I really, really want to channel. I want to channel a certain spirit, or I want to channel my spirit guides, and it needs to manifest as voices in my head. And then you ignore all of the angel numbers along your way, maybe. Or maybe some of the spirits are trying to communicate to you through music, through random playlists or whatever, through the songs that are coming up for you, through information that you read in books, but you're so hooked on the thought that, like, no, if I channel a spirit, it needs to be voices in my head. I need to feel like I honestly hear voices, or I need to feel a certain sensation. Like, sometimes it's really not that, okay? So try to be a little bit more open-minded. It's such a random advice, I know. They're probably, if you are honestly in this situation of desperation right now, you're probably going to be like, girl, try to be more open-minded. But I'm serious about this. This is the advice that I'm sensing. But I also, like, you should not be mad at the messenger. I'm just bringing the messages across, okay? Like, say thank you to the spirit guides, because those are the ones that I'm channeling today. But anyway, no, literally try to be more open-minded towards all of the other means that a spirit guide might come through, okay? Because they are trying. But some of them really just have a preferred method of like communicating. And even me, I try to practice different means of communication with my spiritual team, because it's never just manifesting as one, okay? However, again, the blessing that's going to come in for you is definitely a broadened and widened communication with your spirit guides directly, so that you don't need to click on random tarot readings anymore of people who are telling you what your spirit guides want to say. Like, you'll be able to directly communicate with them, which of course is always the preferred way, right? I can only just offer you confirmation and a little bit of like security towards what you are perceiving internally. So this is literally just confirmation. If you already feel something inside, or you already feel things shifting, and then you just click on a tarot video, this can only just give you confirmation. And you should always check in with yourself. Does it feel right? Like, for example, when I read or perceive certain information, I always get a tingly feeling in my chest, and that is my soul communicating to me, like, yes, this is soul wisdom, this is resonating with me. However, for you, it could be something else, okay? You should just figure out what it is for you that kind of shows you the authenticity of a certain spiritual information that you're receiving. Because especially with spiritual information, that's super tricky. You cannot use your rational brain in order to verify that, all right? It needs to be a certain communication with your soul, certain signs that only you can perceive, that are telling you, okay, this is resonating, this is my soul truth, or it's not. So please don't get scammed out there. But this sort of communication, That's a kind of blessing. Maybe you did not even find your cue yet. Like maybe you're the type of person who has an inner voice, right? But you feel a little bit struggling because you feel like sometimes it's there and sometimes it isn't. And maybe the blessing that's coming in for you is just this kind of cue, you know? Like I just said, for me, it's a tingly feeling in the chest. That is my cue. If I get that, always, always, always something is happening in the spiritual realm, a message is being verified inside. And you might just, as a blessing, receive your spiritual cue. But also, I'm not sure if you know what the Akasha records are, but it is believed it's a type of concept of a certain place in a different dimension that you can also access through meditation and through certain practices. But it takes a shitload of practice. If you want to do that, there are experts out there who can access this for you, but again, very difficult to verify. But you can also practice actively shifting your awareness to that place in order to go yourself. And the Akashic records are essentially records about the entire history of the universe, about all souls, about all of those messages. And I think another blessing that's going to come in for you is some clarity on some past life experience that is relevant for the current one. So your blessing is definitely going to be a lot clearer guidance, clear communication with your spirit guides, maybe meeting some of your spirit guides for the first time, but also I'm sensing maybe through dreams for a lot of you, you will get messages or see things from a different lifetime or from a different realm that is directly helpful for you and your journey, that might even shed light on why you have some of the shadows that you have, some of your shadow aspects. Some of them might not be directly linked to trauma this lifetime, but maybe to some things happening in a past lifetime. Okay, so you'll receive messages from that are going to directly help you to take action in your external. All right. So a lot of messages are going to come in for you. Your blessing is direct communication with the spirit realm. And I'm really, really excited for you. Maybe you're not even into these things. Maybe you're a little bit scared, or you always felt like, I'm not the right person for that. I prefer to watch YouTube tarot readings. But you got it in you, you know, because your internal is my internal and anybody else's internal. Like all of the spiritual practitioners that you might be following inside were somewhat the same, because if you go deep enough into yourself, you always go towards eternity, you always go towards the universe, and we all are. Okay, so this separation consciousness, I always like to provide information that is trying to break this down a little bit. It's very hard to wrap your head around it. It's not meant to be perceived by the rational brain. It is meant to be felt and experienced, okay? And in the end, experience is everything. So be open for the experience. Be open for your spirit guides. Be prepared for them to try and communicate with you. And really, really, really be open to different modes of communication. They are coming in for you. Their blessing, their gift towards you is a clearer spiritual communication directly with your spiritual team that is going to lead you to more insights, also from past lives, also from maybe incarnated soulmates that are trying to communicate with you in the spiritual realm. These things might be all possible for you, and they're going to lead you to so much spiritual insight that you will know what to do in the physical as well, in the external. Okay, so you're going to wake up and maybe perceive some dreams or some angel numbers or some message coding in another way, and that is going to help you make your decisions and move forward in life. All right, so that's all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below if I helped you in any way, if it resonated. I'm super curious to know how it resonates, what your story is, if you don't mind sharing. Thumbs up and a subscribe, always helpful, but of course you don't have to. And I wish you so much love, so many blessings, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.